Few civilizations in human history revered and glorified the dead as deeply as the ancient Egyptians. Their beliefs, rituals, and monumental architecture reveal a profound respect for life beyond death. The kings and pharaohs of Egypt were buried in magnificent pyramids, their tombs adorned with intricate carvings, precious treasures, and mythical motifs designed to guide and protect their souls in the afterlife. Central to this elaborate belief system was the concept of an eternal paradise and the powerful deity who presided over death and the underworld. But who was this god of death, and why did the ancient Egyptians devote such effort to the preservation of their dead? At the heart of ancient Egyptian spirituality was the belief in the immortality of the soul. Life on earth, no matter how grand or humble, was seen as merely a temporary phase, a stepping stone to a greater existence in the afterlife. This eternal destination was known as the Field of Reeds, a utopian paradise where the righteous and pure-hearted souls could dwell in peace and prosperity. The Field of Reeds was depicted as an idealized version of Egypt itself. Paintings and engravings in tombs often portrayed it as a lush, agricultural haven with fertile lands, serene waterways, and abundant wildlife. Souls in the Field of Reeds walked along the gentle banks of a celestial Nile, rested under shady trees, and enjoyed an eternal harvest. It was a place free of suffering, sickness, and death, a realm where life was perfect and everlasting. However, not every soul could enter this heavenly paradise. Admission to the Field of Reeds required a soul to undergo a challenging journey and a final judgment overseen by a powerful deity, the god of death and the underworld. The path to the Field of Reeds was not an easy one. Souls had to traverse the treacherous underworld, a labyrinth of challenges and dangers. While common people made this journey on foot, the wealthiest kings and pharaohs often took the voyage aboard handcrafted ships, mimicking the journey of the sun god Ra, who sailed through the underworld each night as the sun set. Eventually, all souls, regardless of their status in life, arrived at the Hall of Truth, where they were judged by the Lord of the underworld. This god of death weighed their hearts against the feather of Ma'at, a symbol of truth and cosmic order. In the Hall of Truth, each soul's deeds in life were laid bare. The god of death placed the heart of the deceased on one side of a golden scale, with the feather of Ma'at on the other. If the heart was heavy with sin and weighed more than the feather, it was thrown to the floor, where it was devoured by a terrifying creature called Ammit, a hybrid beast with the head of a crocodile, the body of a lion, and the hindquarters of a hippopotamus. A soul consumed by Ammit ceased to exist entirely, obliterated for eternity. If, however, the heart was found to be lighter than the feather, the soul was declared pure and righteous. The god of death, along with a council of divine judges, granted the soul passage into the Field of Reeds. This moment marked the beginning of an eternal, blissful existence. The role of Anubis in death and the afterlife. The ancient Egyptians' belief in the afterlife placed great importance on the preservation and protection of the dead. For this reason, one deity emerged as a central figure in their funerary practices, Anubis, the jackal-headed god of death. Anubis, known as Anpu in the ancient Egyptian language, was initially the undisputed lord of the underworld. He was depicted as a man with the head of a black jackal, an animal associated with death and burial due to its scavenging behavior. In the early days of Egyptian civilization, jackals often dug up shallow graves, leading the Egyptians to associate them with the protection and desecration of the dead. To safeguard the deceased, the Egyptians carved images of black jackals into tomb walls and offered prayers and sacrifices to Anubis. He became known as the protector of graves, the guide of souls, and the overseer of mummification, a sacred practice believed to have been invented by the god himself. The myth of Osiris and Anubis. Anubis's role in the Egyptian pantheon underwent a significant transformation with the rise of another powerful deity, Osiris, the god of fertility, resurrection, and the afterlife. According to one of Egypt's most famous myths, Osiris was betrayed and murdered by his jealous brother Seth, the god of chaos and storms. Seth tricked Osiris, dismembered his body, and scattered the pieces across Egypt. Osiris's devoted wife, Isis, gathered the fragments of her husband's body and sought Anubis's help to restore him. Using his divine knowledge of embalming, Anubis mummified Osiris, resurrecting him and enabling him to ascend as the ruler of the underworld. With Osiris's rise to prominence, Anubis relinquished his position as lord of the underworld but remained an integral figure in the journey of the dead. He became the conductor of souls, guiding them to the hall of truth and overseeing the weighing of their hearts. The discovery and refinement of mummification marked a turning point in Egyptian funerary practices. Mummification was more than a method of preserving the body. It was a deeply spiritual process that ensured the soul's safe passage to the afterlife. The ancient Egyptians believed that the soul, or Ka, needed a preserved body to inhabit in the afterlife. Without this vessel, the soul could not complete its journey. Anubis, unlike many death deities, was not a figure of fear or punishment. Instead, he was a guardian, a guide, and a caretaker. His role emphasized justice, balance, and the preservation of life beyond death. The Egyptian concept of the afterlife reflected their deep respect for cosmic order and the interconnectedness of life and death. Legacy of Anubis. Though Osiris eventually overshadowed Anubis as the primary god of the afterlife, the jackal-headed deity remained a powerful and revered figure throughout Egyptian history. Anubis symbolized the Egyptians' commitment to honoring and protecting the dead, ensuring their safe passage into eternity. Even today, the image of Anubis endures as a symbol of mystery, justice, and the eternal journey of the soul. His role as the conductor of souls and protector of the deceased continues to captivate and inspire, reminding us of the enduring legacy of ancient Egypt's profound beliefs about life, death, and the afterlife.